We got ourselves a new Disney Pixar movie called Elio, and I got to watch it earlier this morning at an early screening. Thank you, Disney, for the invite. More on my Instagram. And here's my quick spoiler-free review, including rating. Starting off with the positives, the animation is good. I like the quality, the coloring, the visuals, yeah. I think this movie overall was fun and enjoyable, and I think it's a good movie for kids to enjoy. The story and plot of this movie is not bad. It's easy to understand. There's no big risks in it. And in terms of story-wise, including pacing and stuff, I don't think was done in the best way in terms of there's a lot of moments that go by pretty quickly, and I feel like there are certain moments that could have been built up better and that we could have gotten a little bit more, or if there's certain scenes that you really liked or would have liked to see more of that we got one time, it would have been quick. I don't know if that's done in terms of because this movie's more aimed for kids as an animation, that kids don't have the best attention span, that you would make a movie of a story that's more on the quicker side, but I don't know if that's a good thing towards saying about that to kids or not. The dialogue of this movie I think was overall fine. There are some things that are being said in certain moments that I think were great, and then others kind of didn't make sense. And in terms of dialogue, there can be a lot of jokes, especially for a kids movie, and I feel like at my early screening that I watched, more adults laughed than kids. Hey, there were a few moments that made me laugh, and then actually now that I think about that, there's actually one scene that I thought was really cool that was more on the serious side. I do like the action, but I do wish we got a little bit more. Some scenes building up to the action, I thought there would be more than what we got. But some of them were great and intense to watch. This movie had a few good emotional moments I feel like that you maybe would cry for, and then other moments where it tried to be more emotional or impactful that wouldn't really hit as hard or as impactful or as the same because, like I said, the pacing and stuff is a little bit quick. And going off that emotion, the characters and the relationships and certain characters and how they interact, I think was solid overall. And going off of the characters themselves, I think Elio himself is not bad. This alien, I forgot his name, can be fun. The villain of this movie could have been done better. I think his motives and why he wants to do bad things and why he's bad could have been better. There were a couple moments in this movie, one of them including Elio, where I just don't think we got a proper answer or explanation for that I think was important for the story. Before giving my rating, would I watch this movie again? Maybe. Would I recommend this movie to you? Yes, family, kids, if you're a kid yourself, you're young, I think it's a good solid watch. If you are a big fan of Pixar, I would say maybe, just because this movie doesn't necessarily feel like a Pixar movie. But it's cool to see that some aliens are cool. So I give Elio a nice 7 out of 10. It's a good enough watch, but lacks, the proper, I think, plot and story for it to be considered an awesome movie. If you plan on watching this movie, I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and now it's time for me to go to space to make a new friend. Toodaloo!